Hello there, it's Amazing Lego 123 here with my 200th video. Now I'm going by unlisted videos included, which is why that says 199. This will be 200th. And if I just randomly click on this video, it's the first one. As you can see there, it says 192. I'm not going by that. I'm going by what's in my video manager. So without further ado, here is what the 200th video is about. Tutorials, how to do stop motions, reviews, using Gimp and all that stuff. So first things first of the tutorial, I'm going to take a few pictures of Obi-Wan, which I'll show you more about taking pictures later on in another part of the tutorial. And I'll show you the simple use of Gimp with jumps, mouth movement and putting things into Windows Movie Maker. And also making lightsabers colour. So let's go on to that part of the tutorial. Okay, so I have my first image of Obi-Wan Kenobi into Gimp. Now I'm going to use the free select tool to just go around the lightsaber and up there like that, right to the top. Don't know what it did. Okay, I'm going to go around the lightsaber. Just go and join it there. Then I'll use the paint with blue in it to colour in there, because all that it colours in is that. And then I'll make the brush a little smaller and just go down the middle like that. And just go over there. Because then I'm going to just move that down a little bit. I fill that in now, as you can see. Looks more like a laser beam rather than just a solid block of blue. So then I'll keep it with dissolve again, and then down the middle, just a little blade like that. Then I'm going to export it as this one here, and you want to replace them. You don't want the thingy, and you'll do that for every picture with your lightsaber on. Now then, because it's not saving, because I don't want to save it. Open. This is for jumping now. You're going to open a background image. As you can see, nothing. It's just a background image. There. Then you're going to click on this button here that says Open as Layers. You'll know why in a second. And then you're going to go with the blocks. It has to have blocks. So you need to try and make sure the lighting is exactly the same. And you're going to add a layer mask, and how you do that is go in Layer, Mask, and then Add Layer Mask. Right, and then what you're going to do is just with your brush, I need some normal instead. Right, I'll undo that because it went a bit wrong. But you're just going to go over the block that's supporting him. Just there, so it looks like it's fine. And if you've got bad lighting, just make the size of the brush really big. Just go over the rest of the image. Just don't go for the minifigure or what's supposed to be flying or something. Just go over everything but. As you can see, works really well. It's working its way around. That needs to be on 100. There, as you can see, it's just working its way around. making the lighting a lot better. So all I'm gonna do is make it so all there is the minifigure. And the previous image, the background image basically. And you'll do this for any image you have fly. So I'll just quickly catch up with that and then go on to the next stage. So I've got that all done, and one thing I recommend is just using the free select tool, that tool over there, and just going around the outlines, going around up here, and just going around the minifigure so that you only colour in everything around the minifigure. Now, I didn't do the lightsaber, so I'll just quickly do that now. Obviously, I've free selected around it. And then, obviously, get a white blade down the middle. That looks a bit too small. So I'll just undo that. And then the white one has to be just normal white. Got a lightsaber. Now, what I'm going to teach you to do now is mouth movement. So I'll just zoom in on the mouth. Zoom in. There you see the mouth. And we're going to be using the free select tool for this, as you can see. Now, I'm going to just outline around his mouth. There. And then just making this. And this is so you can open the mouth. So in the paint, I'm just going to change it to a black. And then it's pretty much simple after that. You just colour it in black. And then, if we look, looks like his mouth's actually open. There. And when you're doing this, you like export as a new image, so that you have the mouth closed and the mouth open, so you can do what I'm about to show you next. So I'll just mask out another image which I've got, and then I'll meet you back, but in Windows Movie Maker. Okay, so I have my pictures imported to Windows Movie Maker, and as you can see there, he actually looks like he's flying, and that's what I'm going to teach you about for the finished product. Okay, so I'm going to zoom into the timeline because what you want to do, and I don't even know how I did it, I've forgotten, but you're going to have to try and find a way to get your settings to put it to 8 frames per second. What that means is 8 pictures in 1 second. And it means when you import your files, when they're zoomed in the maximum, they'll be that big. Obviously that's the first picture. I'll increase the size of that there so you can see it better. But then we've got our second picture, and you can lengthen these pictures if you want them to be on for longer, if you like wanting them to talk. Obviously you're moving his lightsaber around. So something I like to do is just this. Keep importing. Like, basically, you import that picture, then you go that one, and then you go that one, and then you'll just go to that one again in the middle, and then back to that one. And I'll show you that what it makes it look like. Makes it look like this. As you can see, it looks like the lightsaber is moving. You need quite a few of them if you want it to be on for a long time. Obviously, because they're so short, this is only about 2-second video. The Windows Movie Maker. So I'm just going to keep repeating that process till I get to the 10-second mark, and I'll see you back when I get to the 10-second mark. Okay, so I got it to roughly 10 seconds. It's 8 seconds, 0.29. So now let's see what it looks like. As you can see, the lightsaber is just moving, and Windows Movie Maker can be a bit jumpy sometimes. That's just the only thing I don't like about it. But you roughly saw what that's like. So now let's go to the next part. Pause the video. Oh, that video. Okay. So what is on our next picture? Well, it is the one where he's in the air. If I can get it. No, it's not that one either. That one there. Where he's in the air with his mouth open. So I'll import that. And I accidentally didn't save one with his mouth closed, so we'll just have that. But what you want to do is, I'll just use an example of this one, is, even though that's got the block on, what you want to do is just import one with the mouth closed, make sure they're the same image, but one with the mouth open, one with the mouth closed, exactly the same, everything else though, and it should get you a result of this. Obviously, if it was exactly the same apart from the mouth, that would be a lot better, but that was just like my tutorial, like showing you how you do that. And I'll just pause that now. And next image is the last one. It's this one, where he's up in the air like that. So I'll import that in.
Pudding?
Yes, please. I'll import the other one of him jumping, where he's a bit lower down. And then if I have them both, he'll look like he's going up and down. I'll just delete these background images because I don't need them. So he should look like he's going up and down. And then I can have him just fall down completely and stand there. So zoom out, as you can see, 8 frames per second. It doesn't look like much when you import them there, when you zoomed out. So I'm going to save this as a movie file, and then we'll see the finished product. Obviously it does have the mouth movement thing that is a bit wrong, but the only thing you should be focused on is the mouth. It's opened up, now let's see the video. So this is our finished product. You can see there. And that's what you should be aiming for with all this. The movement of the arm, which part of the tutorial was in the Windows Movie Maker, and the rest of it was actually in both Gimp and Windows Movie Maker. So the next part of the tutorial, I'll just pause this, is all about the studio and actually taking the pictures for stop motion. Okay, so now for this part of the tutorial, I'm in my little stop motion Studio. Now, first things first with your studio. You want a good base plate, so your minifigures will stick. It's over here, look. And also, because you'll know where they were last, for walking and stuff. So it's good that you need a few base plates to give them studs. Part of this tutorial, we'll be needing one of these, and simply a minifigure. So I'm going to be teaching you the basics. First of all, with the minifigure. Now, you'll also need your tripod. Good sturdy tripod will work. So now let's go and screw this on the tripod and teach you the first basic, which is walking. Okay, so for this part of the tutorial, I'll just move those guys out of the way a minute. And the reason why I had these blocks is because I'll teach you about the jumping and how you take the background image and all that. So first, all you'll need is a minifigure. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's a good minifigure and can walk, because it doesn't need short legs. If it has short legs, you will struggle. So you're going to take your first photo like this, and then when you've taken that photo, all you're going to do is move one arm forward and one arm backwards. The arm that's forward, that leg is going to stay where it is, and the arm that's backwards, that leg is going to move like that. Then you'll take another photo. So when you've taken the photo, you're going to move him forward like that, just so that leg is not touching the ground. Keep the arms where they are until you want him back standing. So we'll take a photo like that. Simple. Move him. So his legs are back where they were, and he's like that. And then when you've taken your photo, you're going to do the leg that was backwards before, and move it forward, and then do the same thing with the arms as well. So that one's forward instead of back, and that one's back instead of forward. And then you'll take another photo, and then you'll repeat the process of moving him forward like that, keeping the arms where they are, and take another photo. And then you move him back standing again like that, and take another photo. And then when you've done that, you can just repeat the process of doing that and all that, because it's just the same as what I've shown you. So now you know how to simply walk. Now you need to know how the minifigure is going to turn. So first things first, move his leg like as if he was about to take a step forward, but don't move the arms. And then take a photo. And then once you've taken your photo, move him like that, because it will be like he's moving his foot onto the ground and turning round, and then you'll take another photo like that. And then you just move him like that again, so his leg's almost on that stud, and take a photo, and you've nearly finished on the turn. And to finish it off, knock him over, just stand him like that again. And then once you've taken your photo, that's all you need to know about the turning. Now for arm movement. You don't want to move the arm too far each picture, it'll just look choppy. What you're going to do is you move the arm, because when the hands are literally level with the minifigure like that, the elbows will be slightly back. What you want to do is make it so the elbows are level and the hand is slightly forward. And then you'll take a photo like that. And then just move it slightly again, so that the arm is eventually rising. And then once you've got all your photos where the arm is eventually rising, when you put them together in Windows Movie Maker or whatever editing program you use and make them speed up the photos, it will actually look like the arm is moving up and down. So I'll just take a few photos of that and show you, and yeah, well, I'll show you what each photo should look like though, like I am doing. Okay, and then you just want to move the arm so that it is starting to rise up and is almost halfway on his body. And what I mean by halfway of his body is on the next one, that is going to be halfway up his body, like that. And then you'll take your photo like that, and then you're nearly done, because you'll just move the arm to just below the head, which if I take this head off, as you can see, there's just slightly above the head. That's what you need. And that's going to be your final photo for moving the arm up and down. And when you're moving it down, just use the same photos, but play them backwards. So the arm moves up and down. Okay, so when you've learned how to do that, it's pretty much the same with hand movements as well. have a photo like that, then move it very slightly, take a photo, move it slightly again, take a photo, move it slightly, take a photo. You don't want it to be choppy because that is not professional. And with these head movements, especially with the Gimp minifigs, you're going to take the mask off, move the head, and then put the mask back on like that, so that it matches up with the eyes. And with head movement, it is pretty much the same. Take a photo, move it slightly, take a photo, move it slightly. And it's the same with almost every stop motion technique. So now what I mean with background images for the jumping. You take a photo like this, and then once you've got your background image, you'll place in your stud where you want your minifigure to be. And then you move his arms like that, so it's like he's jumping in the air, and have this leg kick up a tiny bit. Now you don't want anything to move, you don't want your tripod to move or anything, you just want to take another picture. Otherwise it doesn't match up very well when you're masking. And you'll see why, because I'll take two pictures of this one with the image exactly the same and one with it moved, like the camera moved. Did those two photos. Now, just to be on the safe side, to make sure your background image does not change between the two photos, just mark in between your studs so you know where it was before, because this shouldn't show up on your camera if you just flatten it down a bit, like that, so you know where it is, and then take that as the background image, just so that next time you place it on, you'll know where it was and it'll look professional. So we'll take a picture like that as well as your background image. Now, because he's already had a photo with that, we're going to increase his height by adding in one of these underneath one of these. And then we'll place it there like that. And then with the minifigure, move him a bit more so he looks like he's jumping up. And then we'll take a photo like that, which will be placed over our background image in Gimp, and I'll show you more about that later. But you do know how to get out the photo, but I'll be showing this part of the tutorial is mainly about how you take the pictures ready to go into Gimp. And you can just use the same photos, coming back down, and it'll still look professional. And you'll still have room for 2 more, or however more photos it was. So I just put in that blue tack back so I can keep that board stuck down. Now with these tumour minifigures, now this is mainly for you guys who are making tumour stop motions. These types of characters' mouths, well, you'll know they're not like the lions where the mouth is just printed on. They either have a beak like the ravens and eagles, a mouth like the wolves, or a mouth like the crocs. Obviously you can see the lions just have it printed on so you can easily move it out. But I'm going to teach you in Gimp how to do this, but I'm just going to take a photo of all 4 of these guys ready for you so I can put them into Gimp and show you about that tutorial. Before I put those into Gimp, I'm just going to teach you something else that will mostly use Gimp as well. It will be seen in my Tumour episode 2 with Crawley's Claw Ripper, but I'm just using the next line attack to fill that in. And it's getting things to look like you've got more than one of them. So how you do that is, for your background image, which doesn't really matter which one's a background image because the vehicle's moving and you're supposed to make it look like there's 2 of them, you'll take a picture of the vehicle like that in there. Then, with nothing moving at all but the vehicle, take another picture of it in a different place that's not near where the other one is so they don't overlap. But it does look good, as you'll see with the Crawley Claw Ripper, when you're doing battles, for them to overlap and stuff. But you'll take a photo like that, and I'll show you more on that process in Gimp. The thing with your stop motions is the driving. So you'll have a picture like that, where it's starting to appear. And to make sure it isn't choppy, you're not going to move it much, just so a bit more of it appears. So it's a bit like with the arm movement, you don't move it that too much so it's not choppy, but you don't move it that far that it takes thousands of photos to get it just to move across this screen. And then you'll keep repeating this process over again, just like with the arm movement. And the driving, it's a bit easier because you're not moving it up, you're just moving it forwards. So I'll just quickly take a load of those photos, and then I'll see you in the next part of the tutorial, which is more on Gimp and Windows Movie Maker. Now I know this isn't really relevant for this part of the tutorial, but I just thought I'd show you. This is what I did for the Obi-Wan Kenobi bit, and I didn't show you this. But I took a picture of with his lightsaber like that, then I moved it like that, and then I moved it like that, and then I started the jump. And you know how to do the jump. But yeah, just thought I'd show you that, just so you know. You Star Wars fans. And obviously you know how to turn, so you can do the Star Wars thingy like that. Obviously I'm not that advanced in stop motion yet, but I'll soon be doing more tutorials on more trickier stuff. But now let's go on to the next part of the tutorial, which I mentioned, using more of Gimp and more of Windows Movie Maker. So here we are on Gimp. So I'm going to open up my first image, which is going to be a masking image, obviously. Tutorials. I'm going to look for my image that I need masking. Okay, so there, yeah, we have our first background image. Okay, so then on File, open as layers. You should, in the first part of my tutorial, know this already. And then I'm going to go on that paintbrush there, make layer, mask, add layer mask, add, and then obviously you can see it's starting to go away. You can just do that if you want, just go over the whole image apart from the minifigure, so it looks like it's flying or floating or jumping, whatever you want it to be. You don't just have to use minifigures, you can support other bricks as well to make like missiles launch and stuff, and I have disc launchers. But the main thing I'm showing you here is the minifigures. You can zoom in if you want to make it more accurate. But you get the main idea of it. You just get rid of the blocks you don't need. And I'll just go over that what I've already started. And then I'll go to the next image, which is what I told you about in the previous part of the tutorial, about why you don't move anything apart from adding in a minifigure and blocks. You don't move anything, not the camera or anything. You'll see why in a second. So I'll export that, not as the background image, as that image there. You want to replace these. Well, I replace them anyway. Now I'm going to open that background image. There. And what opens layers, obviously. Now this one here, it's where it moved. Obviously you saw the minifigure, he moved. You'll see why you don't want to move these right now. As you can see, first of all, there was bad lighting, so you can see where I've masked out, and also it doesn't look good because the studs don't match up, so that's something you don't want to do. Now the next thing is to make it look as though there is two of them. I'm going to just open this one to say that's my background image, and then open as layer the one where you saw the one where it's like that. Now here's the funny thing, obviously I only have one of those, but you mask out and you can eventually see it start to appear. And I've done this for Chima episode 2, which is either being uploaded before this video or after. Don't know, depends if I get it done. But obviously you can see that there's another Linux line attack appearing. So you just want to fill all the gaps in. So I'll quickly fill all of those in and show you the finished product. Now a bit further in, and as you can see, Linux's line attack is starting to take shape. So it's starting to look like there's more than one of them. As you can see, you just fill in the gaps to make it complete. And I'll just zoom in to get those more thorough gaps. As you can see over there, you can see where that's the background image. That's the background image. That's the layer. And then that's what's of the background image that's on this on the layer. Shown through the layer, which I think is pretty cool. And oh, by the way, I'll just mention that this is the only program that you'll need to install. Well, if you get the same camera as me, then there's the editing program, but that comes with it, and the camera's got a USB device on it, which as soon as you plug it in, it installs automatically. But I think you can install it from a certain website. I'm not sure. I'll have a look, and if we can, I'll put it in the description next to the link for Gimp. Obviously, you want to get the shadows, get all the shadows in as well, so it looks real. But you want to get every little detail as you can in to make it look as real as you want, as it can. There we go. So I'll now just see you when this is all done and there's 2 Linux line attack. One thing I will quickly mention, if you come to find out that they interlock like that, well, what you want to do is find out which one by zooming out is in front, which with this one, that wheel is in front of that wheel, which means when you zoom in, you're going to have to be very careful and go round that. I recommend using the pencil on Gimp for that. It's nice and small and the image comes out clear as well. So what you want to do, just carefully go round all of this. And it really does give it a good effect. It makes it look like the wheel is behind that wheel, and still looks like there's 2 images, and it's less obvious that you've masked to get one image. Because the whole point is to make it look like this, like no masking at all, and that there is literally 2 of the same thing. You can do this for minifigures as well if you want big armies, but you haven't got that many minifigures like for clone troopers and stuff. So just carefully go around all this, like so, making it look like that wheel is behind those claws. And then as you can see, go around the bottom so that the wheel is there. And it really does give it a nice effect. So I'll see you back when this is all done. So done. As you can see, there is a few scribbles, but the rough idea of it is done. This part of the tutorial was just simply to show you how you do that. So I'll just export it as one of the two images that are needed. I'll go for the layered image, and then I'll just close this. And now this is for the talking with those special Chima minifigures. There. Obviously the lines are pretty easy, as I said. It's just the mouth. So these guys you need to focus on for Chima. This is just for you Chima fans. So I'll start with the Crocs. As you can see, they've got those teeth. With the free select tool, which is that tool there, free select, just zoom into your mouth as far as you want it to, and then just outline the teeth. Obviously Krug's a bit easier because he's got a metal mouth, but you're just going to outline round the teeth. And it is very effective when it's done, just a bit hard. So the Crocs are the easiest to this bunch and the Eagles are the hardest. You'll see why in a minute there. So there. Now what we're going to do is right click, going to go into edit, going to go into cut. As you can see it goes white. Then we're going to go to edit, same thing, and then paste. And you'll realise what this allows it to do. As you can see, it's changed from the lasso to a movement tool, and this is the really cool and fun part. I move my mouth. As you can see, you can move it wherever you want. But the main idea is to move it down so it looks like the mouth's open. But then, what? We've still got this white gap, and I don't think they'd have white in their mouth. And that's where the free select tool comes back in. You're just going to go over all this white stuff. See? Just go outline round the white teeth now. And the tricky part is about to come up, and we've gone round the top. By the way, this tutorial is mainly for beginners who don't know this stuff, but it can help people who are good at stop motion but just need to learn a few more tricks. Now this is the tricky part, because you've got to go careful not to just blank out the teeth completely so it doesn't look real, but go around the inside layer of the teeth so it's like that, and you don't get blocks and blocks of white appearing. So we'll go around here and around the teeth there. There. And then this is the easy part. You're just going to get your paint, make sure it's set to black, and if you don't know how to set it, you just click down here and then you change your colour. Obviously we just want black. And there you're just going to fill in where you had your free select. And then there. Not only does it do you move the mouth down, but you free select round and colour it in. And now Krug looks like he's got his mouth open. Now we're going to zoom into wax, who is also quite easy. But with the wolves, you just have to make sure you go around here. And you just go in around these teeth. There. And then you're going to cut. Paste. As you can see, his tooth stays there. It's supposed to have two of them, but I accidentally went wrong. And then you just do the same as what we did with Krug, so I'll just quickly do that, and then and I also painted on wax, and that's what you don't want to do, have those white gaps. So I'll zoom out. Now we'll go into Razor. He's not that easy, but when you get the hang of the ravens, it's easy. I'll zoom in 200% for him, since he's not like Krug. As you can see where the bottom beak is. So it's pretty easy, you just simply go down there and round there. It's pretty easy when you know how to do for the ravens. Not as hard as you'd think. There. And then it's pretty simple. You just move it down like all the others, but I'm not going to do that. Since all you needed to really know is that, but with the eagles, this is where it's hard, because you don't see a bottom of the beak, do you? No. This is what you do. You highlight round this, and round that beak. There. That's what you'll cut and move down. So as soon as you really think about it, the eagles all of a sudden become pretty easy. Obviously with the free select tool, go around it again. And then colour it in black. So there you have your mouth movement tutorial. And I don't think there was anything else left for the Gimp tutorial. So I'll just save this and I'll meet you in Windows Movie Maker. Okay, so here we're back in, and we're in Windows Movie Maker. So this is our first image, and obviously this is from where I showed you about the walking thing. Obviously I'll zoom into the timeline because it's set at 8 frames per second. So we'll place these guys in. And this, obviously you know how to do the walking, but this is once you've put all those photos together, what it will look like. Obviously I told you how you make the photos. And this is also the turning round. So I'll show you what that looks like. Pretty good. Play it to you guys again. There. Yep. That's what your finished product will look like. I'll just fade out of that, and I'll add a title. Obviously if you don't know how to do that, the button there, and then you select where you want your title. I want it after the selected clip. Then you just type in what it's going to be. And this is more, this next part is more of a kind of like a decorative thing. You can change the colour of your background and art and stuff. Birds. I'm just setting it to a colour I don't like the default colour, so I'll just set it to how the Ninjago thing is. And if you can move these as well. So obviously, as you saw what I typed, this is the arm movement. Obviously, I taught you how to do all of this. So this is just basically what happens when you import all those files into Windows Movie Maker. So this is what those pictures of arm movement look like. Watch again. And then this, hold on, I'll add a title before that. Jump. And this is masked jump because I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Masked jump. Here we go. Because there, as you can see, he's floating. So the next one, it is the one where the background moves, so I'll delete that one, and I don't need it in the timeline anyway. And then this is the other one, which isn't the masked jump. So I'll add a title before that. Non-masked jump. I'm just adding these because I just feel like it. And this is your talk thingy. Right, so what you're going to do for the talking, I'll add a title before that, just so we can separate everything. Now obviously, you know, with the Obi-Wan Kenobi, I only saved one image. Right, this is the image with their mouths closed. This is the image with their mouths open. Import closed, then import open, then import closed, then import open. And we'll keep repeating that process. And obviously, usually you'd have one minifigure talking at a time. So what you'd do is just keep having his mouth or her mouth open and closed until the speech you got is over. And we'll just end it there. You have to end with the mouth closed. And something I like to do is, for the first image, and this is a tutorial on all these video effects, rather than going into there and thingy, having a drop down menu. But you right click on the image, and then I'm going to go slow down half. The first and last image on talking, I always like to do that, so that I know when a character stops talking and when a character starts talking. So obviously you see, it just slows the picture down a bit, and you can also speed them up. Alright, that's the image. I didn't really care about it that much, I just wanted to show you about the adding in extra things, so we can just delete that. You know how to do that now. Right, this is the driving. Obviously you're not slowing this down, if anything you're speeding it up if you haven't found how to get to 8 frames per second. This is going to be quite a long video, but it's a tutorial, so it doesn't matter. Obviously because I've zoomed in, it doesn't really look like the pictures are at 8 frames per second, but they are. I'll show you why when I zoom out. This is your driving. And I just keep importing these different images. Obviously I've got quite a few because I wanted it to be a decent drive, smooth, not choppy at all. So I mentioned about that choppy movement when I was showing you about the actual pictures. And nearly at the end. And then this is our last image. So there, it just, as you can see, it's a nice smooth drive, not choppy at all. Now if you want it to be even smoother on your video effects, go to the speed up double and add a couple of those. That'll probably make it up to 15 frames per second, which basically means 15 photos in a second. And I'll actually do that for this driving because it will actually make it look a lot smoother. So I'll just quickly do that and then I'll see you back. Okay, so I've done that and now this is what it looks. It's a lot more smooth because I sped them up. And now I'm going to save the movie and go on to the final part of the tutorial, which is basically my editing program and putting all these videos together. Okay, for this part of the tutorial, I'll just show you my studio for reviewing. All I have is just simply a desk. Now what I like to do is have my reviews from nice up above. I just feel I can get the best quality. So I'll put my box on the studio. As you can see, I've got the streamer, which is the next review I'll be doing on Linux's Line Attack. Now you'll be wondering why my tripod is like that, but I can get it above. Well, you see, I alter the tripod settings. I unlock that, use this handle here to lift it up there, and then lock it again. Now you'll be wondering, but if you put it there, you can just see your wall. There, I just simply twist that to unlock it, and then position it down like that, and then I'll lock it again. I like to have the legs of it next to my desk, and then there, you'll be wondering, wait, but that box is fairly big and doesn't all fit on. Well, that's what these clips down here are for, because you can unclip them and move everything up that you want to get your tripod in a nice position. So yeah, that's basically tips for the reviews. And then after I've done the box, obviously I do one video for the box, and then I'll swap into the set. I've just got Sally's house here. I'll start off with the minifigures, show those, and then I'll move on to the actual set itself. Which all I do is I keep the camera here and I just simply move the set around. No need for camera movement. All I'll do is screw the camera on that screw there, so it'll be sturdy there. And yeah, that's tips of the review. So now let's go on to the final part of the tutorial on putting the movie together in the editing program I use, which actually came free with this camera. So now on to the final part of the tutorial, putting the movie together. Now, my editing program is Arcsoft Media Impression HD Edition. So if you search that on Google, I'm sure you'll be able to find this camera and be able to buy it, so you can get this editing program. It works for me. I'm going to go and make a movie. Right, so I've got credits here. You don't need them if you don't want. So first of all, I'm going to go reviews intros, because that's where my intro is, and then I'll just simply drag it in. Then I'll go back into my tutorials folder, because that's where everything else is. So obviously these are a bit jumbled up. But the first part here, I'll just drag that in. Then we've got the second part, which is just simply the Obi-Wan Kenobi scene thingies. Obviously that is the zoom transition. I'll move this down because you need to mainly see the timeline as well. And then I'll just keep dragging these different videos in. Obviously I'm going to speed some up. And thingy. But there's quite a lot, so I'm going to move this across. And you can put as many video files in as you want. You're not limited on them. And this is the next part with the minifigure thingy. I'll just drag these in. Pretty simple. And then obviously to save the movie, I'll click on that save and share button. You can save it to where you want, but I'm not doing that yet. But yeah, that's simply how I edit my videos out, and I'll finish off editing this video and save it and put it on YouTube, obviously. And yeah, please put a video response. Like, don't try and do everything. Like, maybe do a walk and a lightsaber thingy, or a walk into a jump, or try and put something that you've learnt from this tutorial in a video response, just so I know that you understand what to do. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye!